Hello, happy Friday to you. Coming in live from Detroit, Michigan. It is 11:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you and I are about to make 30 grams of protein together, and we are going to share all things reaching your mother flippin' goal without giving up any foods, any desserts, any alcohol, any meal plan, and without a freaking prescription. So I'm super excited. I'm going to share my number one hack with you. I struggled for a very long time to get the proper amount of protein, and I'm going to share a hack with you that'll forever change your life. I always like to do my due diligence and share a little bit about you or about my background so that if you're like, who is this chick? What are her credentials? I don't have any credentials. I'm a group certified fitness instructor. I've listened to 40 plus audible books when it comes to biohacking the human body. I struggled with my weight for 11 months. I went into a doctor's appointment. She tried to give me a drug for prediabetes when I didn't have prediabetes. It was called metformin. That was when I took the road to audible book known as Obesity Fix by Dr. James. After that book, every single day there's recommended books that come up on Audible when I finish books, and I've never stopped. I'm like obsessed with biohacking the body. I'm talking about being almost 40 years old, reversing energy, reversing the aging process, helping chronic fatigue, better sleep, like anything better than I did in my late 20s, mid 30s. So I want to share that with you because it's a blessing in disguise. And if I didn't learn this from Dr. James, I don't know where I would be today. So we are going to start off talking about protein, but if you are using any type of protein bars, any type of protein shakes, we do have to be very careful because when I first upped my protein, I actually started going up and up and up and up. And the reason was because I didn't learn until a specific chapter that we live in the United States of America. And the United States of America is amazing, but we are allowed to have additives and fillers inside of our foods. So when you scan your protein bar and your protein shake, you have to make sure that there are not carcinogens inside of it. And you have to make sure that there are not any additives that lead to the risk of becoming overweight or altering your glucose levels. Pure protein, I was using, it's a horrible bar, 0 out of 100 rating. The Power Crunch bar, 2 out of 100 rating. So you might think that I sound like a crazy woman, but I'm telling you right now to do your due diligence. The app that's gonna help you, more than happy to share it with you. It's now in the comments section. It's called Yucca. I get nothing by you going and downloading that app. So download it, scan what you use. If you use something more than twice a week, scan it, and at the bottom, it's gonna give you a recommendation to replace it. I highly recommend that. I saw a complete shift when I went to a more friendly protein bar, and one that's really good is the Kirkland bar. The Kirkland Costco protein bar is absolutely amazing. It's clean, it has an amazing rating, so I highly recommend that. Gia, what are you doing? So I highly recommend that. A little trick that you're gonna know something is a good bang for your buck, especially Greek yogurt, especially cottage cheese. Number one step would be to scan it. I used to purchase the one that was the cheapest, that was on sale. And all of those had carcinogenics, additives, and fillers that led to becoming overweight, that led to type 2 diabetes, altering blood glucose levels, but also bone deterioration. And we don't want that. So again, scan it, but here's how you know something is high protein. All you have to do is take your finger and you cover the last number of calories. So say something's 160 calories. Okay, so we look at the calories, we cover the last number. We're left with 16. The number that you are left with after you cover the last number of calories is how many grams of protein that bar should have. So it should have 16 grams of protein. And you're always gonna see protein, fats, and carbs on anything that you purchase. And let me tell you, like literally it's in bold, so it's not gonna be hard for you in any way, shape, or form, okay? That's my little hack for you. You don't want to be getting meals, snacks, even desserts without having 30 grams of protein. Protein is how you improve your muscle tone. Okay, a lot of people are dropping weight right now using prescription drugs. It's just eating and deteriorating their bones, eating and deteriorating their muscle. I had a girl last night that reached out and she has actually immobilized her small intestine and paralyzed her stomach because she got to the point where she couldn't go to the bathroom. It slows digestion, these prescription drugs. And she ended up having to go in, have emergency surgery. She's putting weight back on at a high risk. So be very careful. If you really think about weight and if you really think about energy and fatigue and your hormones, we shouldn't have to go get a prescription in order to reach our goals, right? Like that's a new thing. I always run to science, clinicals, third-party validation, and cleanliness, especially living in a world where, again, we live in the United States of America. So we can have additives in our foods. We can have carcinogenics. They're not banned like they are in countries like Australia or Europe. So there could be things out there that are being prescribed to us that could cause a lot of long-term risks. So be very careful. Okay, so that's your protein hack. Also, protein is how you burn 30% more calories. Many of us live in a world where we're a little bit more sedentary, right? And that's a lot due to like high technology and things like that. But if you can burn 30% more calories by upping your protein to your desirable weight, you're gonna turn your body into a fat burning machine. And then the last thing is that it's actually how the body goes through the feelings of fullness and satiety. So you feel full when you eat protein. And it doesn't mean that you can't have carbs or fat. It just means you want to make sure you're getting 30 grams of protein. Something that I found really cool after listening to 40 plus Audible books, I will share with you, is that 150 grams of protein is only 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. So if you're having more than like one egg yolk a day, or more than a fourth of an avocado, or more than a half a tablespoon of olive oil and nuts and seeds and peanut butter, you have to be very careful. And cheese, because those are a fat. And yes, they're a healthy fat, but there's too much of a good thing that will paralyze your results. And there's just as many people out there. I lost my brother-in-law to a heart attack, that are getting heart disease, that have high cholesterol because too much of a healthy fat. So we really have to prioritize our meals around protein. And again, my little hack for you, if you're brand new and you've never been a part of hearing me discuss the 40 plus Audible books that I've listened to, if you drop new in the comments, I'm more than happy to share with you. It's a protein guide that helped me in many ways, and I will be more than happy to send that off to you, okay? Protein isn't the only thing that helps with digestion and feeling full and burning calories. Water is like its best friend. It's like its mate. Water is actually the body's process of burning fat. If you download the Yucca app today, that YUKA app, I want you to scan anything you use more than twice a week. I'm not perfect at all. I'll go out to Mexican tonight. I go out to dinner 2-3 times a week, but 70% of the time my foods are additive free, carcinogenic free. When I go get a protein bar or a protein shake, I scan it in that app for sure. So when you do this, if you notice that all of the foods you're using have bad or poor rating, something I would highly recommend for you is what is called cell activation. And cell activation does not require a prescription. And it's proven through science, and clinicals have been done on it in the last decade. It's got third-party validation, and it's a clean effect to activating and turning on what are called short-chain amino acids found within your body. There's different formulas depending on where you're at right now, whether you want to improve your muscle tone, lose weight, you have hormonal things, PCOS, so drop cell activation in the comments. I would have to ask you 3 or 4 questions, and then I would actually share a video with you. Within 3 minutes, you'll know, hey, this is a good fit. It's not my product. Or you'll know, B, which one to go for. So make sure you drop cell activation in the comments. Within the next 24 hours, I will reach out personally. Hi, Jennifer. And I'll send you a couple questions, and then I can point you to the cell activation scientist. And again, within 3 minutes, you'll know what formula you should go for. Something that's really unique about cell activation, my husband's 55 and he's down 28 pounds now, is that you can get off of it when you get to your goal without gaining all of it back. The only time we have to worry about gaining it back is if we start to add in more than 30% of our foods coming from additives, dyes, and carcinogenics again. But you now have that Yucca app to do that. I recommend that you scan your toothpaste, your lotions, your moisturizers, because that's going directly into the bloodstream. And being almost 40, I actually look younger than I did in my mid 30s, early 30s, because of not only cell activation, but learning about that Yucca app, which again is free, and I get nothing by you going and downloading that app. Your water should be half of your weight in ounces of water. That was something I never knew, and I was adding Mio and Crystal Light and electrolytes to my water, and of course they had carcinogens inside of it. Like, go search it right now. They're sitting on the shelves of Target. They're sitting on the shelves of Home Goods. Like, there are toxins, dyes, carcinogens inside of all of the things I added to my water. And when you look at the high risk side effects of them, the number one thing that pops up in the app says it leads to being overweight. So we do have to be careful. There are clean alternatives. I usually have fun now, like adding watermelon or peppermint or basil or lemons or limes or berries in my water to enhance it. But there's also clean things like the nectar, electrolytes that are clean and yucca approved, that don't have cancer inside of them. So this is not like a, hey, I have to walk around and be this military perfect person, right? Lily's has a really good gummy worm. Lily's has a really good gummy bears. I eat them on the daily. A whole pack is 70 calories. There's no additives inside of them. So there are alternatives to what you're using right now. Inflammation and bloating. I lost probably 20 pounds just in inflammation. So again, that app is going to help you. And for water, please set a timer. I don't know how anyone in this world who has a kid, I have one, can ever remember to drink water, especially if you have a job. So every 90 minutes, I have a timer that goes off on my watch. I just stop, I drop, and I drink for 15 seconds. I repeat it all day long. I have an Apple Watch now, so I'm very lucky that the Apple Watch actually goes off. And I just repeat and rinse the cycle all day, every day, to get myself half of my weight in ounces of water. Okay? Another thing for the water is to wake up next to your bed to see water, right? So have a sticky note, have something that tells you to drink water. That constant reminder, even when I travel, I'm constantly traveling. I write it on a piece of toilet paper. Always drink water before coffee. Coffee is something I'll never cut out. I've paid over $20,000 for a mentor that I hired for 1 year. I learned more reading Audible books than I did, but it's okay. The fact is that half of your weight in ounces of water, set a timer. And also, if you do drink coffee or pop or alcohol, those dehydrate you. You have to add those ounces back in. So if you're 200 pounds, you automatically should be drinking 100 ounces of water. But if you drink 20 ounces of coffee, you now add 20 ounces of coffee to put the water back in your body. Most coffee is pesticidic, okay? Very bad. I've taken literally little measurements. They look like little sticks that you put into pools. And I've tried every coffee you can think of. They were all pesticidic. I now use a nootropic blend. It comes all the way over from Sicily, specifically Italy. And it's got your L-theanine, your cordyceps and lion's mane mushrooms, and Ceylon cinnamon. There are a lot of influencers out there that are talking about what is called Ceylon cinnamon. They're talking about regular cinnamon. Regular cinnamon elevates kidney levels to the point where I went in for a physical. I was using so much regular cinnamon, my kidney levels were altered. So use a Ceylon cinnamon. For the specific coffee that I use, Samantha, if you drop in the comments coffee, I'll share the video with you that I saw about the rainforest and about the pollutions that are found in the soils that lead to this becoming an issue. And if you decide to get it, awesome, but do your due diligence, right? I never like to try to beg, sell, or convince people to use what I'm using. I just want you to be educated and informed because our food system, unfortunately, is broken, okay? Like, there are toxins and dyes and carcinogens and additives inside of Celsius that lead to becoming overweight. Inside of the Pure Protein bar has a 0 out of 100 rating. So again, that app in the comments for you is called Yucca. I get nothing for you to download it. If you're new and you drop new in the comments, I'll send you that protein guide that helped me in many ways that I got from one of my mentors. As far as the water goes, you want to make sure that you're also getting proper fiber. We want to make sure that we're nurturing, keeping any type of leftover food out of the intestinal tract. The reason why we have recommendations for steps and for fiber and for water is because literally they all work together to keep the intestinal tract free and clear of toxins and bacteria. Great question about water. Seltzer water can count. Just scan it with the Yucca app to make sure that there's no natural flavor. One thing that's became huge, I'm a big founder of Gary Vaynerchuk and Gary Vaynerchuk and Brecca, and they're the ultimate humans, 10xing, it's the 10x rule, is adding hydrogen to your water. Yesterday, I did a whole video on Celsius. I used to drink it every day because it speeds up your metabolism. If you scan it in the Yucca app, you're gonna notice it has additives that lead to not only altering glucose levels, but leading to becoming overweight. So be very careful. You might think something's helping you, but really it's not helping. So something that I recommend is adding hydrogen into the water. It dilates blood vessels for 10 hours, 10 times. So your blood is flowing. Performance and recovery will improve, brain fog, headaches. They see an improvement in blood pressure. There's been studies and clinicals. Just make sure that you don't get sold from someone's marketing, okay? The ones at Target have additives. So now we're doing ourselves more harm than good. So the one that I use, again, you know me, I don't believe in prescriptions for weight loss. It's proven through science, it's proven through clinicals, it has third-party validation, and it's 10 cents more than a Celsius that was ruining my body. It's called Nitro. So if you drop in the comments Nitro or even hydrogen, I'm more than happy to share that with you. I will send it to you, and you can see the video so that you can watch what actually happens eternally inside of the body when we activate it with hydrogen. It comes in a really cool sachet. You add it to water if you do get it. You never add ice, ever, 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 ever. You would never want to add ice to it. It deactivates it. This specific one, when you have clinicals and third-party validation and cleanliness on a product, they can't lie. Because a lot of things can market. They can be like, this is the best collagen in the entire world, and it's going to reverse age you, and it's going to make you the sexiest queen in the world. That's a marketing tactic, right? So make sure you know that it's certified. It's got clinicals backed by it. Like, companies have to pay more money for that. So the one that I use has that. Drop Nitro in the comments. A lot of women are using it for not only brain fog, blood pressure improvement, again, headaches, performance and recovery. You're going to want to take it and you're going to want to go out and walk. You're going to feel the blood flowing. The reason why I'm making lunch right now is I just activated my cells. I always take that 30 minutes before my first ever meal. So that's when you can eat. So it's good for people. I don't fast, but people who do intermittent fast, they love cell activation because they can still do their intermittent fasting. You would just know, you know what I mean? And drop cell activation if you missed that part of the call. Something with your hydrogen water. It comes in lemon, lime, grape, and black cherry. And again, you can get it in a can, which is more money, or you can get the sachets, which is more user-friendly in the same formula. Just never add ice to the mix, okay? I put it in 16 ounces of water. I shake it up really good. It's really cool because it actually turns clear. It's clear, and then the second that it activates, you'll know why, because it's actually bright yellow. So then it becomes bright, 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 bright yellow, telling you that it's been activated. So it's really cool to watch that go through, but what's even cooler is to see the science experiment for yourself. So drop Nitro. Again, I never like people to get anything or go to a website and purchase anything without knowing the facts around it, okay? You deserve to know it. As far as your fiber, it should be 25 grams. Metamucil is carcinogenic. It leads to type 2 diabetes. It leads to altering sperm alteration in men. It is definitely something that should be banned, and it's not because it's allowed. In the United States, we're allowed to have these additives and fillers in our food because we live in a free country. We're supposed to do our due diligence. I didn't find this out until my early 30s, and I'm almost 40. So that's why I go live every day to share this with you, because it was a gift that I learned it, and I feel like I'd be selfish if I didn't. Sherry, I screenshotted your name. I will send you 100% that video on the hydrogen water, okay? Just give me about, if it takes me a little bit longer, I will get back with you, but it will be 100% with certainty, less than 24 hours, okay? So as fiber, so what's a good source? You do want to probably reach for, you have to be careful because chia seeds are great, but chia seeds is 10 grams of fat and 2 tablespoons, right? Your berries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries. So you guys know the berry family. It's kind of cool because that has 8 grams in 1 cup. And then your veggies is 6 grams or 7 grams in 1 cup. So any of your especially leafy greens. The reason why, again, is it swells to the depth of the intestinal tract. A lot of our inflammation, bloating, irregular bowel movements, and foul smelling gas is all coming from the deficitness in fiber. And these all work together for weight loss. I'm sure that you have known by following me that I have something called a power play. So if you don't want to sit down and write down your fiber and write down your grams of protein and then times it by 4 calories to figure out how many calories come from protein, but then to take your fats and times it by 9 calories to figure out how many of your calories come from fat, and to do the same with your fiber, then drop power play in the comments. It was waitlisted for 4 months because I actually message you every day via text. I voice note you. So you are gonna actually in 5 days, the only assignment you have, I set you up in the app. I ask you 4 or 5 questions. The only assignment you have is to put everything you eat in an app and listen to my voice note. The third day, 99.9% of the all-woman community that I've helped now in the last 24 months, over 1 million people cumulatively, okay, master in 3 days, you get 5 days with me. I don't know one health coach out there that gives someone their personal phone number, puts them in an app that you have lifetime access to, so instead of writing it out, you don't have to write it out. Your numbers will be there for me, and then gets a voice note. Along with me at the market, you can see exactly what I'm putting in my cart if you're a visual. It's recorded, along with a grocery list, and then my 10-minute abs workout. And a grocery shopping list, okay? You get all of that forever and ever and ever. And then I have 5 video modules where I teach you more information on your water, your protein. You have lifetime access to all of that. So I recommend most people do this when they're traveling or coming up on a weekend. Why? Learn how to biohack your body on a weekend. Start today, it's day 0. You're all set up so you can start fresh tomorrow. So make sure you drop power play if you didn't know the urgency before it waitlist again. I'm working one-on-one with people all around the world, and I never take on too much, and I don't hire people because they don't have the skill set that I have around what is called macros, or the skill set that I have without having to give you a stupid meal plan. I can give you a meal plan that teaches you nothing. So drop power play in the comment section. As far as it goes for your fiber, with fruits and veggies, I was using them, right? They're packed with antioxidants. As a group fitness instructor, I was actually really against people supplementing for fiber. But after actually going through, and I would get 6 cups every day total, 3 cups of fruit, 3 cups of veggies. And I met a girl that was in Australia that asked me to be a part of her greens. She has a live greens that have no fillers and grass, because typical ones do. The difference that I felt in 1 week getting that because of our soil depletion completely changed my life. And the second I do it, I go number 2. So literally you take 8 to 10 ounces of water and you mix these greens in. They're like really vibrant green. The darkest green to the point when you clean the cup, it's like this dark, dark, dark. It has like a purple to it. That has all your fruits and veggies in it for the day. So if soil depletion is something that you start to research or you watch the YouTube video on it and it freaks you out, the Alive greens, which are 18 cents more than the shitty ones at Target that have additives, fillers, and grass in them, are something that I would recommend. Drop greens in the comments. I eat fruits and veggies if I'm like out to eat, but I don't purchase them anymore. So I actually save more money only because of the soil depletion. Only because I went through what I felt on fruits and vegetables versus what I feel now when I actually know I'm getting the real fruits and vegetables from the soil. They come all the way over from Australia. So drop greens in the comments, okay? So as far as that, my only assignment for you again to download that Yucca app. And if you have questions, drop them below. I do work with a crap ton of people, a ton of people who have, gastric sleeve, cancer, hypothyroidism. Some have no thyroid. Some are on, Synthestis or whatever, antidepressants. I work with all types of those people. The side effects that you're going to come into is a benefit to your hair, skin, nails, joints, muscles, wrinkles, skin's elasticity, sleep, hormones. Everything you're using is complementary at a cellular level. It's proven in science, clinicals, third-party validation, and cleanliness. So you get what you pay for. A company to be able to do that and back that up and have that certification to go the extra mile is like you going to a holistic naturopath doctor that doesn't accept insurance. I've learned that through 40 plus Audible books and dropping 40 pounds without having a prescription. So I'm here to help you. I'm not here to beg, sell, or convince you any way, shape, or form. Anything I can do, if you are new and you hopped on late, make sure you do drop new in the comments. I have it's a guide that helped me in many ways as I got started out, because my ideal weight in grams of protein was just something that was not easy for me, and the guide helped in many ways. So again, you can drop new in the comments and I'll give that to you. More than happy to give that to you. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you catch us on the replay, we are live right now. I know some people think I'm a robot. Sorry, I'm feeding my dogs. We make them homemade meals with their ground up kibble. I've just done a lot of research, right? I'm not here to like be a weirdo. Susan, I'll send that to you, okay? I'm not a weirdo at all. I'm literally like, just want to feel good. You guys, I felt so bad. I remember waking up one day in December and just telling my husband, like, I don't even care if I live anymore. Like, I was so bad with like diet food, sugar-free Jell-O, diet this, diet that, so energy drinks, lean cuisine. I mean, I'm talking, you can still find good foods. I can still find frozen dinners that don't have additives, right? So I'm not here to be a weirdo or to scare you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just here because if you allow me to and you acknowledge yourself, it's going to actually excite you and help you in many ways, okay? So, any questions at all for me? Okay, I'm gonna hop off. You're guaranteed me to come on every Monday through Friday. So hit follow or hit add friend, okay?